and you will have most success online, content creation, all that, because then you're going to make the content people want to see, and they're going to watch it over and over again, and that's where the plays come from. That's where the followers come from. That's where everything comes from. 100%.
Hi, and welcome back to Careers 2.0. Today, we have a showman on the show. Nick Spinelli is a professional DJ and a YouTube personality with his own live show there. He can get a party started anytime, any place, and his enthusiasm made this conversation feel like a party. We talked about creating and repurposing content and how to be successful on platforms like TikTok and YouTube, and how to translate that success into money. I hope you'll enjoy it. Hi, Nick. Thanks for joining.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
We had some issues to set it up, but it finally happened, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, it'll be worth it. I promise. I'm sorry about that, Phil.
Oh, you promise? Okay, so now the whole pressure is on you. You have to deliver.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you have to deliver now.
I'm giving you a good podcast guarantee. All right.
All right.
Just because I couldn't make it the last couple of times, I'm gonna cancel myself on your podcast. It's gonna happen on your podcast.
All right.
It's all over after today. You know what I mean?
We're gonna go viral before we even release it. That's the plan.
That's right.
That's the plan.
That's right. TMZ.
Yeah. Listen. When I was researching you, one of the most interesting thing I think that you said was that you became a DJ or an MC, not to be in music or not to be in DJing, but to be an entertainer. Right? Is that how you feel?
Yeah. You would say yeah. Part of it. I mean, I originally got into it for the money. I started DJing for $10 an hour. Well, not DJing, but like I was like the guy that rolled the wires, you know?
Yeah.
So it was originally for the money, and then I seen other people doing it, and I thought it was cool. So, you know, then I But I was an entertainer first. Yeah, I was like more of an MC. I didn't know how to DJ until way later. So.
All right. So you started as an MC. The music stuff came later, yeah?
Yeah, I would like. Well, you know, it was MC with like you. I would teach dances, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Like back in the 2000s, you know, at private events, you know, I was like that cheesy wedding DJ. So yeah, you know, you bring everybody out there. All right, put your hands in the air.
What defines a cheesy wedding DJ? So I know for the future.
A cummerbund. You know what a cummerbund is? I don't know if it's cool overseas, but so a cummerbund is like this little thing that covers your fupa. When you wear a cummerbund with like a tuxedo, that tuxedos in general, I think can be looked at as cheesy with wedding DJs.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wear a tux at my wedding, but
did you have one when you started?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Had a tuxedo, all that. What else is cheesy? I don't know. It's really just how you dress and how you you know, what the line dances and all that. That's what makes you cheesy, you know. But it was cool back then.
Isn't it still cool, or it's just a routine for you? You just turn it on, you go, and
I'm completely different now. I'm like literally the opposite. Now when I DJ a wedding, I literally DJ, and that's it. Like I don't, I MC like very minimally. I'll pump up the crowd here and there, but that's about it. I just I let the music talk. I just do.
How does it differ? Because like I see you as a guy who has two jobs, right? On one hand, you're the DJ. You're in the wedding. You're MCing or DJing. But then you're also in front of the camera in online. So how does the entertaining value differs? Like what do you do different? Is it better when you have the instant feedback of the crowd, or is it better when you're in front of the camera and you're like, I don't care, I'm just talking to myself, basically?
No, like so I was so used to the instant feedback from the crowd that it took a long time for me to get used to just speaking into a camera and not getting that. And especially like the hardest one was I have a live YouTube show and I do it by myself. I'll have an interview here and there, but like I generally do the entire show by myself. So I'm literally just looking at the camera, and I just had to like imagine that like on the other side of it, someone's listening. So I got to just like go, you know, like can't even like think of that. Now that's like a big hurdle I had to actually overcome. That's like the hardest part, you know what I mean? Not having any instant gratification.
Yeah. Do you have like a chat that you try to interact with while you're doing the live show?
No, well, I did. So there's a chat, and like I can see it, and I glance over it every once in a while just to make sure like my mic is still working. That's about it, because I repurpose my show. So like I do my show live on YouTube, but then I also post it as a podcast. So like if I interact with the chat as a podcast, it's going to be like, well, you know, if you're listening in your car, it's like, dude, I don't give a shit about the chat. I can't even see what they're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I repurpose my show as highlights. So if I talk about a segment, if I talk about, you know, this segment here, I chop that out of my show and then I post that as a video on YouTube. So like, and that video of just that section of my show is posted on YouTube as a highlight. So like if I interact with the chat too much, then like those videos and and my podcast as a whole isn't going to have as much effect.
Can you tell a bit more about the repurposing? Like, what is the idea behind it? What are the benefits of repurposing your content?
So the idea behind it is like to just double dip. So essentially what I do is I'll prep. I'm able to post like literally 5 to 10 videos a week, but with minimal time. You know what I mean? Like I still produce a video here and there, right? I'll produce a vlog. And when you produce a video, when you sit down, you have an idea, then you have to film it, then you have to edit it and all that. It's time consuming. Where my idea with this is like, I design an entire show. It takes me a couple hours to, make the graphics and like actually prep the entire show, but I design it in a way where I can chop it up. So I try and make it as fluid as possible if you watch it all the way through. But at the same time, I try and start certain segments a certain way. That way, when I chop it up, it almost looks like it's its own video. So if I want to talk about, let's just say I want to talk about mixing with DJs, right? I want to talk about beat mixing. When I go to start that segment on beat mixing during my show live, and this took a while to, get down or whatever, but during my show live, when I go to that, I'm like, all right, so I was like, I'll literally just start it with like so let's talk about beat mixing. Yeah. Now, this is my thoughts on that, and I start it hard like that. That way
it works as an intro as well.
Correct. So then when I chop it up, it literally starts like that, and I'm able to repurpose my content. So in an hour's of time of live doing it, I take an hour and a half afterwards, I chop it all up into highlights. Now, not only do I have the live video that I monetize, I also have all the highlights that I monetize. I also have the podcast itself. I extract the audio from, and I monetize that as well. So I'm hitting 3 different avenues.
Got it.
And I'm able to post it. That's why I have over 500 videos on YouTube. And I think it like a numbers game, as long as you have solid content, obviously, it's a numbers game. I'm more popping up in people's algorithms, people's searches when they search for my niche.
You think that the algorithm rewards consistencies? Like the more you post, the more often you post, that you're going to be rewarded?
Oh, yeah.
With, yeah?
100%. So that's helped me big time. So I was able to really grow my YouTube, a little quicker. I mean, not that I'm like, YouTube's literally my smallest platform, but it's the biggest challenge. It's hard. YouTube is very, 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 very difficult to grow.
So if why do you decide to grow it? Like, what's the benefit of growing YouTube if you're already big on like TikTok and everywhere else?
It's just a different avenue. It's longer form content. So like TikTok, like I have long-winded answers, as you're going to find out during these podcasts sometimes. And
I don't mind. I can chillax and you just talk.
And well, so the podcast and the YouTube thing, that gives me an opportunity to like give my long-winded answers and give my long-winded explanations. And and I think the more how-to on YouTube, I want to help out as many DJs as I possibly can, So
what I noticed is that your short-form content, like the shorts, reels, TikToks, a lot of them showcase you as a sort of DJ master, right? The mixes, the transitions, amazing transitions. Everyone should listen to them because the virality is not there by accident. I really just scrolled through and enjoyed everyone.
I appreciate you.
But then you have the YouTube that is completely sort of targeted not at the audience, not at the people that will be entertained by the music, but the people who actually do this stuff, right? So there's more educational content there.
100%. Yeah.
So how does income-wise does it look like? So is it like the short-form channel is a promotion for your wedding business, and here you have the educational content, or it's like how do you look at that?
It kind of just feeds each other in weird ways that that I never thought it would. Like all my long form content on YouTube obviously is tailored, like you said, to DJs. But still, other people watch it. Even people that maybe want to hire me will watch my longer form content and say, "All right, well, let me listen to this guy's opinion. Let me see if I agree with what he's saying." Because if I don't agree with what he's saying, there's a million ways to do this. Then maybe I'm not the right DJ for them, and vice versa. But then with the shorter form content, it was my way to kind of like inadvertently kind of break into like the average people, like the people that don't DJ, and still kind of watch my short form content and be like, all right, well, that's kind of cool because like everybody's been to a wedding, everybody likes music. So generally speaking, you see me, if you might like one of the transitions I do at a wedding, and so like you don't have to be a DJ to kind of like that. But at the same time, that also all the people that are DJs that follow me love to see me do a wedding live because it gives them ideas for their own weddings and all that. And so it kind of feeds everything. You know what I mean? Like it kind of like one thing I realized is like, as long as I just focus on like just putting out content that I like, and then I think that would be valuable, you'd be surprised at who actually gives a shit about it. You know what I mean? Like the super DJ content I thought only with DJs would like, regular people actually do watch it as well. It's for whatever reason, and vice versa,
So when you're creating your live show, for example, do you sort of try to create it for yourself? Like, if I will enjoy it, then hopefully other people enjoy it as well. Or you're sourcing questions from the audience, from your community. How does the creation process look like?
Like my live show on YouTube?
Yeah, that's the most produced thing, I guess, right? That you do.
Yeah. I'm a big value guy. It's just I have to like as much value as possible. Like I look at every piece of content I make, whether it's a live show or whatever, like it's got to hit one of three things. It's got to either be entertaining, educational, or inspirational, or all three, or two of the three. Like I got to hit one or as many of those as possible. So like everything I think of, I try and think of like, is this educational? Or is like, can I add some jokes in there? Will this be a funny little skit? I could just make fun of something where you're not going to learn anything, but it'll be a funny thing. Or is it like inspirational somehow? The inspiration is probably the one I do least because I hate like, I'm not a big like, look how great I am. Like, you know what I mean? Like this could be you if you stop sucking. Well, you're inspired now. Like, I hate that shit. So. I don't really, but I try and it's just as valuable as possible. As long as there's value there, you know what I mean? I try and look at it from that perspective. Like, would I watch it? Why do you follow anybody? Because they hit one of those three things, you know what I mean? Like, so like, would I watch this shit? Would I care about this? And I think that's a big thing, especially in my industry. I think a lot of DJs, the biggest problem they have with content creation and like catching any traction, getting anybody to watch their stuff really has to do with like ego. I think a lot of DJs and a lot of people in general will post content that's more look at me. There's no value there. It's just like, hey, look how cool this is. Look what I'm doing, or look what I have, or look what I've done. Look at me. And that's all well and good. Your mom will like the shit out of it. But beyond that, nobody's going to, you know what I mean? Like, where's the value? You're just like pointing at one of your accomplishments. You know what I mean? There's no value there. I always try and post something with value, like some type of value. And that's the main thing, I think.
Actually, I watched live, one of your live shows, really enjoyed it. And you said something that I remember about the girls on posters. I don't know, I think it was like a couple of weeks ago you were talking about it. Yeah. That is sort of like the poster girl for a show that's sort of supposed to like hype up, and then you go to the show, that girl is not going to be there, right? That it's like a fake promise type stuff. And it actually made me think about like as a metaphor for social media in general, like, a type of show off, unrealistic stuff you scroll on Instagram. Most of the stuff is not real. Whereas what you're saying is it sounds to me like sort of building trust and trying to be authentic, right? So the only way you're going to grow your business or personality is if people trust you, and they're only going to trust you if you're authentic with them, right? If you're just going to go jump and show like how look at me, how beautiful I am, how amazing I am, it's not going to bring trust. It's going to be like, yeah, cool guy, whatever, right?
Yeah, 1000%. I think authenticity is currency nowadays. Like people, like it's so rare anymore that like when you do see if you see it in all of its glory, you see a full 100% version that's authentic anywhere. You like people kind of like almost they get drawn to it. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, this person's really authentic. What are they going to do next, kind of thing. I think that's like very, very important.
You have magnetic personality, that's for sure.
But thank you.
Can you tell me? How does your content creation in general affected your business or businesses, like in terms of, I don't know, percentage, monetary, whatever you can share?
I don't have to work anymore, which is cool.
What do you mean by work? What you don't consider what you do work?
I'm a DJ for a living, so like I wouldn't consider that work, but like but my job technically is when I go out and I play music for others. That's how I make my money. Like I've been full time since 2015. So like that's been my main source of income. But now like I really don't have to DJ anymore. Like I could just sit home and still pay all my bills and be fine. But now DJing is all extra money, and it's really just from content creation. I got and I'm not good with money. I'm not like I probably could have achieved this way sooner if I was smart with money. I'm not. I literally just have fun I throw stupid videos up there, and you get lucky and you catch some traction, and then you put a couple things into place. And
so what brings the money home these days? Is it advertising? Is it digital products? What is it?
Affiliate links, advertising. So Amazon affiliate links is good for a good amount of money. YouTube monetization pays direct every month. TikTok and Instagram Reels monetization pays direct every month.
Okay.
I'm a curator for Beat Source that pays direct every month, and then Selfie is probably like my biggest income source from selling playlists. And I was the first DJ to come up with the idea to sell my intellectual property. So essentially, I on my YouTube channel, I came up with I came out with a couple of videos.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask, like, how do you organize your crates, everything? Because I have very organized a crate system, which is like the DJ's folder system. I have a very organized system with music, genres, vibes, how the music feels, when to play it, certain section, dinner, cocktail hour, dancing, like throughout weddings. Like I have a very system. So I made videos on my system, like, here, this is how I organize it. And then I would give people examples. I'd be like, hey, like, here's my rock folder. Here's like 2 or 3 songs that are in my rock folder. So you get an idea, like that's what's in my rock folder. And this is my method, and I explain everything. And then a lot of people were hitting me up after those videos and were like, well, like, can you show us everything else that's in the rock folder? Can you show us everything that's in the rock folder? And that's where I came up with the idea. And I was like, well, what if I just, because I can't obviously sell the music, right? That's very illegal.
Right.
What if I just sold the intellectual property? What if I made PDF documents that essentially just said Nick's rock list for dinner? And then here are the songs just printed on there. You go download them yourself. You get them, you buy them, you get them however you get them. But here are the songs I play under my rock list. And that's it. And then, I designed them with like a description on how I use it and tips and all this to make it as useful as possible, much value as possible. And I started selling my lists. And I think I'm up to like 40 something lists. And that got me through the pandemic, honestly. And then it's only grown from there. I thought eventually, how many DJs are out there? You know what I mean? But I still get a ton of sales, and it's able to, give me financial freedom.
Are your clients worldwide or mostly US based?
Oh yeah. No, worldwide. I think mostly United States, Canada, UK. And so Europe, there's a couple of different European countries. So I would say Europe, and then United States, North America is most, and then South America might be like third.
So the idea came basically from your audience request, right? So they sort of, first you build an audience, and then their interest in what you do and interest in getting deeper got you an idea for the product itself.
Yeah, and I was at first, like, like I said, I'm not good with money, so I never really thought to monetize anything. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to, like, at first I'm like, all right, well, maybe I'll do a video and I'll go over every damn song. And then as I was planning the video out, I'm like, this is a real pain in my ass. I don't know if I want to do this. What am I doing this for? To give you the sauce? Or to do all the research I've done my whole life, and I'm just going to give this to you? And I started getting better in my head. I'm like, and I'm broke. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try selling the shit. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? And then, like, I was like, look, whatever. Let's see if they pay 99 cents. And what I did was I gave a couple of lists for free, so you can download them for free, so you know what you're getting. And then beyond that, it's 99 cents for this list. I think $1.99. I started out real low, and I sold a ton of them. And I was like, oh, and then I slowly raised the prices. Then I did packages. Then I maybe come up with other lists. And actually inadvertently gave me my other job, because I had all these lists and I was selling all these lists, and like a lot of DJs had a lot of good feedback on, how good the lists are or whatever. It got me linked up with a DSP called BeatSource. BeatSource is a DSP for DJs. It's basically a Spotify for DJs, and BeatSource is fully integrated with all the DJ programs, and they needed someone to curate their entire wedding DJ list. They wanted to come up with wedding DJ playlists. So I essentially got to take my playlist from Selfie and recreate them on BeatSource, and then offer them to BeatSource. And that gave me a full-time job with BeatSource, just being a music curator, which is like opened up a lot of cool things for me. So,
but if you started monetization only later on, and as you said, you didn't think about it at the beginning, then why did you start to create content in the first place? Like, a lot of people are like, I need to create content in order to sell something.
I wanted to get booked. Booked. Right. I got hired at a company that I'm still with today, SC Event Group, and they're all their DJs. They're all wedding DJs, private event DJs, and they were all really good, and they had a lot of content out. And when I first got hired, I'm like, who would book me? Like, they have all this videos to show, and I didn't have anything. I was the new guy, so I decided to make some. I had some very strong opinions about like DJing weddings and stuff. So I decided to make a couple wedding DJ videos, like tip videos, and my thoughts were, I can yell my opinions out there and stir the pot and see if anybody cares. But really, if I have a couple tip videos, then maybe a couple of the clients would look at the tip videos and think like, wow, well, he's doing tip videos. He must know what he's doing. And maybe he'll book me. So I was just trying to get booked. I was just trying to get a gig at first. And then like 10, 15 videos in, I got into it. You know what I mean? I started having a real good time with it, and it kind of evolved from there. And then the other aspect of it, I would say, is like early on, when you make a video and it gets like, 10 plays or whatever, and no one cares, I just thought to myself, I was like, well, I think this video is pretty solid. I'm enjoying making them. And worst case, if nobody ever watches it, I'll have a couple videos online. My son can see it one day. When I'm dead and gone, he can hop on YouTube if YouTube's still around and watch me yell my opinions. And it'll be like my little legacy.
That's actually interesting that you mentioned that. I noticed that there is some sort of rule that those guys that literally scream their opinions seem to be more successful than everybody else around.
The loudest wheel, or whatever, squeakiest wheel.
Exactly. But you notice that as well, right? It works like that. Why?
Yeah, it's true. They have the most influence up front. Yeah, but what also comes with that? The loudest people are usually full of the most shit. So like, it works both ways. Like I don't like identifying with the loudest person because like, he's the loudest. He has more people listen to him because he's the loudest, but he's also full of shit. That's why he's so loud, because he's full of shit, but I am not full of shit.
I guarantee you that my family and friends think exactly the same about me. That's why I'm asking you, like, why being the loud guy sort of gets you to being listened, even if you're full of shit.
That's it. It comes from growing up in an Italian household, and it comes from growing up in like New Jersey and New York. Everyone's so loud and obnoxious, and like there are a bunch of assholes out here. So like you got to be the loudest person to get heard, or else you ain't getting heard.
But you're not playing like a role when you're in front of the camera, right? It's still you. You're not trying to.
Oh yeah.
Or you do turn it up a little bit.
No. I'm a prick. In real life.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm an asshole. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How you doing, asshole? But yeah, no, like no, it's really just the same. If usually when I'm online, I'm talking about something I'm excited about. So if I'm excited about something, that's how I act. You know what I mean? I mean, there's times where I smoke a joint and I'm relaxing, I guess. But like generally speaking, this is how I am. Yeah, 100%.
All right. Can you tell me about the products? Let's go back to that because that's the interesting part for me. So how many products do you have? You said you have right now
40 something.
You keep creating them, or you find that the audience keep coming from the older one? You don't actually need to keep creating new ones and all over again.
I should create more than I am, but I do create. Like the last 2 years, I've probably created like an extra 5 or 6, but there hasn't. But the main base has been there since I originally did it. So
all right, so tell me about your audience. Is it new people coming over and over again, just growing thanks to your videos? Or you have like a core audience that is with you, and everything you release, they'll come back and they're going to buy from you and listen to you and watch your videos. It's like a closely knit community, or rather, no, whenever someone needs something specific.
I have both. I do have a closely knit community, but most of them like have my playlist, bought them already, and then like they will, if I come out with a new playlist, they come and get it typically. But beyond that, they kind of they're just. But I do have a community, like when I. If I'm promoting a product or anything, they usually like kind of listen. And so I know I have a core community for sure. But then the other side of it is when it comes to DJing, like my industry, there's a lot, I would say probably 80% of all DJs are DJs that DJ for maybe a year or two, go through a DJ phase and then quit. So, a lot of people, and that's where like a lot of the art, hey, they buy it because it's so easy to become a DJ now. Like if you want to try DJing, if you want to try mix songs together, you can get a mixer for a couple $100, get B-Source, stream the music. And then that's it, and you can sit around and play around and be a DJ. So
using
like,
your playlist, you need to create it even, right?
Yeah, seriously. So like that's where a lot of my sales come from, I believe. I think a lot of them come from like just fly-by-night DJs, people that kind of pick it up as a hobby. They'll grab a couple of my lists. Maybe they have a little party. They picked up as a hobby, and they're doing their buddy's barbecue this July, and it's like their first time ever DJing. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to try and DJ this party for fun or whatever, which is like super cool. So they like might pick up a couple of my playlists to give them ideas of what to play. And they play the music and they have a good time. And then like 2-3 years later, the mixer goes in the basement and collects dust. They don't really like DJ beyond that. They just had a little thing where they're having fun with it. And that was it. But I got those sales, so like, I think that's the majority of my sales are more beginner, entry level DJs. And that's another thing I try. And I'm in the future where I want to kind of focus my content. I want to go to more beginner type content, to catch a lot of because I think the large majority of DJs are only a DJ for a year or two before they kind of say, it's not all glitz and glam around here.
Have you tried educational content on like TikTok, or there's just the entertainment part and the educational part you keep to YouTube?
I've dibber-dabbered. Like I've only I've done like, I think I've posted like 2 or 3 TikToks that have like clips of my show and just like, but the more like kind of entertaining, kind of me making a joke clip, but also with an underlying like an actual like something I believe in. And something I'm trying to teach, but also like in a joking way. So like I dibber-dabbered with that, and it did okay, but it didn't do crazy. And like I don't. I think moving forward, this could always change. But like right now, where I'm at, I think like TikTok and Reels are kind of like for like my mixes and my live stuff, like what I've been doing. That's what I've been having most success with. YouTube is perfect for all the educational stuff, kind of keeping everything like that at YouTube. You know what I mean? And like kind of separating the two, give you a reason to come out to YouTube, come out to, you know what I mean, like to different places. So it's not like all the same content everywhere.
Do you try to somehow build your own customer list, let's say? Like you have your audiences on YouTube and on TikTok and you're sort of dependent on those platforms. Are you trying to like export an email list or anything like that? Or you just keep them in socials?
I haven't. I do have a MailChimp list that I built when I first started making tip videos. So I have a detailed MailChimp list, and I also have the list from Selfie, like from like everybody's ever bought a crate from me.
Do you promote your new products over those lists or just on your?
Yeah, when I come up with a new product, I do. That's the only time I use those lists as far as now. I'm very selective. You know, I have it there, and I know it's like super valuable. Who knows how many I don't even know how many people. There's probably got to be at least 10,000 people on that list at least. But like, but I don't want to be too salesy. You know what I mean? I don't want to always, there's a lot of content creators, I feel like, that always have their hand out. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up? Thanks for watching this video. By the way, sponsored by, hey, if it's just promo code, and it's like, dude, we get it. All right. Just teach me something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit about what you're selling. And like, and I'm like all the way on the other extreme of that. So like, I'm very selective in like what I do, but I kind of had those lists just in the can, just in case, like eventually one day, you know?
If you're trying to avoid being salesy and upfront about it, how do you sell so much?
I give the sauce and I make them pay for the cherry on top. Does that make sense? Like I give them like I don't sell anything, rarely. So when I do like sell something, it's, you know, your ears perk up. I feel like it's like, all right, well, what's he selling? He never sells something. It's got to be good. And then like I literally, like with my list, like I literally explain everything for free. Like you could go on my YouTube and you can learn how I organize my crates. Essentially examples of what's in them, why I organize them that way, how I use them, different ways I use them. Everything you need to know is on YouTube. The only thing that's not is what's in them. And that is something I think, in my opinion, like DJs should dig for themselves. DJs should go through, you have Apple Music, Spotify now. Back in the day, we only had CDs and shit. It was terrible. Napster. Like now you got Apple Music, you can find it whatever you want. DJs should do their own digging, really. DJs should do their own digging and actually find all these songs that they personally like and then and make their own lists, but they don't want to do the work. So to me, if they don't want to do the work, you know what I mean, then here you go, you got to pay a little extra. But that's why it's just like, I already gave you everything. So like, I don't have to sell the additional, like it's whether or not you want to do the work. And I found that 90% of people don't want to do the work. 10% will do the work.
Wow.
The other 90% was like, $3, I'll buy it. $3. What's $3? And it saves me all this time. And time's the most valuable asset, yada, yada, yada. So I don't have to hard sell it. You know what I mean? It's up to you. You like, these lists are pointless if you don't got no music in it. So it's either you're at a crossroads. You got to do the work and figure out what music you're going to put in it, or you got to pay me and I'll tell you what music is in mind. There's only, it's a binary choice. You know what I mean? And I think that's why, you know, it sells itself. If that makes sense.
If you had to drop all the social media except for one that brings you the most value, which one would it be?
Man, YouTube.
To keep
YouTube.
Why?
YouTube. I'd give up everything
Just money?
else. And YouTube has my smallest following.
No, exactly.
Because I put the most work into it. Yeah, because I feel like the other ones I could build back. You know what I mean? Like YouTube is just like is insanely hard, and I put so much work in it. I have so much good like video. Like I would never want to, like I would want that forever. Like that's like you could go through my whole YouTube channel and really like I truly, like, I'm confident you can learn so much as a DJ. Like and I'm proud of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I put a lot of work into that, and like Instagram and all that. Those are fun videos. TikTok are all fun videos I tossed up. Just me DJing live. You could delete those today, and I'll start a new Instagram. And I got weddings coming up. I got my gigs coming up. I'll turn the camera back on. I'll record new videos and just start all over again and figure it out again. And that's it. And those were all built in months. You know what I mean? Like literally, like my TikTok following, you know, a couple months. Instagram, a couple months. Just like the right videos. They're pushing the algorithm right now. That's it. YouTube was years and years. Blood, sweat, tears, semen, all of it.
And does it translate into money? Would you be able to support yourself if YouTube was all that's left?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, because YouTube feeds the Amazon links too. So like, yeah, YouTube's very lucrative overall.
I noticed that there is a rule that creators from different platforms at one point or another, they're going to start to to try YouTube, like either just reposting the same stuff or creating some additional content. But is it you think that it's so difficult because the algorithm is worse, or because you're building sort of stronger relationships, so it's by default harder?
It's a couple of things. I think it's not really. I mean, you could say the algorithm's worse, but there's also like so much content on YouTube. Like there's so much uploaded and there's so much more stuff on YouTube because it's been around so much longer that YouTube has to filter through all that. I think YouTube videos can like Instagram and TikTok and all that. That's all about what you've done lately, right? Like what's a cool video you've done lately, and videos run its course and that's it. And you'll never hear that video again forever. YouTube, there's videos that are consistently played for 10, 15 years, over a decade. One video that's your go-to video. There's a video, I'm sure there's a video on YouTube somewhere about how to change a tire in your car, and it's 11 years old, but it's the greatest video ever on how to change your tire, and everyone watches it when they get a flat tire. It doesn't matter if it's now or 10 years ago or 10 years from now, it's still a tire, still got the 5 lug nuts, it tells you how to do it, you know what I mean? Like, so YouTube has that type of longevity, and I have a lot of videos like that, and I approach YouTube like that, not with like a, there's, you have some ideas where it's like, oh, this is for 2020, like when it comes to like music and stuff. But like beyond that, there's so many videos that are just like, they will always be relevant because it's like something that like DJs will always do or whatever. And like, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what I like about YouTube. And that's why it's always, it'll always pay you.
You focus on more evergreen content that can compound in value over years. So you're spending years on it, but even if you stop releasing a little bit, the older content will still net you some positives, right?
100%. And then it will always pay you because people will always be looking up this content and always binge watching your other stuff. Especially if you have like a catalog of videos, they find one video that was relevant to them, even if it's 5 years old, and then they'll watch a bunch of your other ones because they might like your delivery. YouTube's also, that's the coolest thing about YouTube. There's, all my videos, I'm sure there's another video out there of another DJ kind of explaining the same thing, but it's like, whose delivery do you like best? You know what I mean? Some people learn better with some people learn better because I yell it at them. Other people don't, you know what I mean? And learn better because there's a more soft-spoken guy on YouTube that explains the same thing. So they like him, and that's great. You get to, and that's how you build your subscribers. Your subscribers just happen to like your delivery. They've learned from you for some reason because they just connect with the way you deliver it. And then like, there's always going to be people looking for these simple things, and my shit will always be there. So like, it's just something that it's a true passive income that like will always kind of be there unless.
It's passive now, but as you said, it costs you a lot of work to get there, right?
Oh yeah. But that's the thing. That to me, that's passive. You put in all the work ahead of time. Now it's all done, and now you can just like relax. And I was lucky, going through the birth of my child and the pregnancy and everything. These last like 9 months, 10 months, I wasn't on YouTube as much. I only did my show every maybe 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks. That took long because there's just so much going on, but everybody's still there. You know what I mean? Like my numbers dipped like a little bit, but everything stayed pretty steady and everybody's still there. And then I picked it back up the last month. I've been doing a show every week, and now I'm back past where I was before when I left. You know what I mean? Like because of just like none of my content, most of my content doesn't have a shelf life, and that's like what YouTube is, where like the algorithms on Instagram and TikTok aren't about that. It's about what have you done lately? You know what I mean? What's the hot video right now? And then they throw in the trash.
But it's also, I think, about the niche that you're in, right? So if you have like some sort of tech reviewer, for example, that has a new phone coming out every month or every week, if he stops reviewing them,
that's true,
right? Then they're gonna be the new stuff is coming out, and he's gonna be gone. Like he's gonna disappear in the flood of other. So not only you have a niche that is very evergreen, and doesn't maybe some software changes, hardware changes, but the DJs stay, and then on the other hand you have sort of like the evergreen content that will not disappear. So that's beneficial, right?
Yeah, no, that's a good point too. Yeah, it does have to do with the niche. Yeah, because there's both sides. We have new products too, and that's like the hot stuff you could talk about now, but then there's the stuff that'll just always be there, So yeah.
I think you said a lot of buzzwords that everybody that could be listening to us would get excited. So first of all, passive income. I don't have to work anymore. so tell us, how does your day, except for, we know you have a young child, so your day is preoccupied by that. But
Yeah.
other than that, how does your day look like? How much work do you put in daily? Is it like a 4-hour work week, like the famous book, or it's not really like that?
All right. What do I do? It's either I'm off or I'm on. There's no in between.
Okay.
So like I have off days and I have on days. Like today is my off day. The only thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to post a TikTok and an Instagram that I already have ready. When we're done here, I'm going to post it right around like I think like 2-3 o'clock should be good, and that's it. And then I'm just like hanging out all day. I'm gonna eat an edible, hang out with my kid. I'm gonna watch a Hallmark Christmas movie because they're all dumb. I'm gonna laugh at how stupid these Christmas movies are, and I'm gonna pour myself a scotch and just be like and just like, and that's about it. I'm not gonna do anything today or tomorrow or the next day. Now, if a day I'm working, so I'll wake up, I'll eat breakfast first thing, make sure like the little boy's okay, and then I'll come in here and I'm a big list guy and I'll just go through. So like I'll have certain things I have to edit. When I plan out my show, I'll be in here about 2-3 hours making of. First, like while I'm hanging out with the baby, I'll list everything out on my phone, what I want to talk about. Then I research everything and I include links. So I just have a big notepad on my phone, include links and everything, and all the details and pictures and videos and everything I want to use. And then I come in here for a couple hours and I make all like the different graphics and everything, and I do all that. I have a video, like if I'm editing a video my workflow is like I have to finish one product at a time in one sitting. So like when I make a mix for like Sirius XM radio or whatever, like I sit down and make the entire thing front to back. I just lock myself in this room until it's done. I lock myself in the room until the entire video is done. I lock myself in the room until the entire show is completely planned. Like I just do it in one shot. So so it could be anywhere from like 4 to 5 hours to like 12 hours in a day, 15 hours in a day. There's times where like I stay up until 5, 6, 7 a.m. Finishing something, you know what I mean? Just like I just want to knock it out and get it done. So like I don't know. I'm not very
That's very active.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of good advice when it comes to workflow stuff because I'm just literally either on or off. So like I'll spend 15 hours one day getting all this shit done, but then I'll take like 2-3 days off and I'll do nothing. I'll just check, see how the numbers are doing every once in a while, and that's it. And I just mind my own business. I don't do anything. So like I'm kind of like on and off.
I think that's productive.
You think it's productive? I think it's like very, not the way you should do it. I feel like it's just like you're either totally off or you're driving yourself nuts. But that's how I work. Like when I'm under pressure, I rip. Like that's I thrive under pressure. You know what I mean? Like I'm like I got to get this done today, no matter what. Let's go, and that's it.
Okay, but I'm probably a clinical procrastinator. So I'm gonna wait almost until the deadline comes. But the thing is that when the deadline is coming, I'm able to focus and I'm able to, like you, just sit down hours at a time and get it done. Because if you wanted me to do it, oh no, you have to start a month before, then I'm gonna be like, an hour here, an hour there, and the quality also will drop with it because I will forget, I will not care that much, So I find it a very healthy approach, at least for myself. But the productive part about it is that you also have the wind down time, right? So it's not like you're on every day. Like I'm not the hustle guy, so you need to be every day you have to. You don't work. You work weekends. You don't work weekends. You're not gonna be successful. You're 12 hours a day all the time. Elon Musk sleep in your office type of. So
it doesn't work for me either.
Right. So it's however you like it to be, and if you're able to focus and if you're able to chill the rest of the time, and you have the time to rest and to regenerate. I mean, that's productive for if you ask me. That's a tip.
I agree. Another thing, I think like a lot of ideas for me come when I'm already I'm knee deep for a couple hours. Like a lot of my good ideas will come like 3 hours into working on something. So if I just work on something an hour a day every day for the entire month. I feel like a lot of like I need to really be in it for a while, for like a couple hours to really start like thinking of stuff, So like if it's just a short amount of time every day, like what am I going to think of? And I'm like, and just like you said, it's just not going to be as good. I'm not going to like, all right, I'm only doing, all right, 20 minutes left, like I'm really looking at the clock the whole time. I just want to get like, I like getting lost in shit where like all I'm thinking about like tunnel vision. I think it's my ADHD. It's just ADHD. That's all it is.
It's tunnel vision. Flow state. It's the flow state. I mean,
the flow state. Yeah. True.
But so the ideas come mostly from your own flow state, or is it the research that you do during that, like sparking new ideas all the time?
But I would say 80% the flow state. I would say like that's where most of it. Like every once in a while, like doing research, it'll spark something. But But yeah, no, mostly like it just when I'm just deep thinking into like how to make this funnier, how to.
Right, you're not going to get into the flow state if you don't like what you do. So it's like,
Yeah.
so that's sort of like, I'm maybe not also the big, like you have to have a passion for everything that you do. Sometimes work is work and you have to do stuff you don't like. But on the long term, if you were to do not stuff about DJing, but about completely different, because now you know social media, now you know YouTube, so you can duplicate in every other niche. Probably not, right? If you are not doing what you know and what you love.
Yeah. 100%. I think that's a big part of it. That's where you get the It's fun when you enjoy doing it. You know, you're not going to do anything you don't like for long, and you're not going to do well at it. So if you're just trying to do something and you don't really like it, but you're thinking like, oh well, I got to do this to get to this, it's not going to work. You got to figure out a way. Like you got to figure. But wherever you're trying to get in your life, I feel like the steps along the journey, you got to figure out what steps you like to get there. Like if there's a step you don't like to get there, that's where you're going to hit your roadblock on your journey. Like most of the time, you're going to hit a roadblock right there because you don't like that step. You know, if you're having trouble getting to where you want to be, and you're like, damn, it's because you don't like the step you're at. You got to do another thing to get. There's other options besides that one thing. That makes sense. You know, every step of the way, you got to be enjoying yourself, and it doesn't matter if you never make it. Whatever, I was having a good ass time the whole time. So like I never made it, but like it was fun, you know?
So what did you like about, or do you like about DJing that you lasted for so long, whereas most of the guys drop off after a year?
Just, making people dance, man. It's the greatest job in the world for me. I get to just show up places, and like you get to realize after years of DJing, you figure out what songs like do what to people. You can evoke any emotion with music. Like if you play it the right way, you can evoke it. Like I promise you, I can walk into a bar and start a fight within 10 minutes with the songs I'm playing. I'm telling you, I can literally make a fight break out. There's no, like, I will give you a guarantee, 10, 15 minutes. That's all I need. I'll play the right songs in the right order and a fight can break out, and vice versa. Make everybody vibe to the, you know what I mean? And like to have that kind of control and just to be able to really just make people feel good and like kind of forget about their everyday lives, just watch them just have a great time. Like, it's so fun. And it's a great people watching job. People get wasted in front of me all the time, and I see the craziest shit, and it's fantastic. I love it. I'll just sit back. I'll feed into whatever's happening. You know, I see a couple having a little argument. You know, obviously something happened. You know, the girl's really mad at the guy. I'm gonna start playing breakup songs. I'm gonna drop a breakup song or two, just see what I can do with this situation. Like, I don't know. It's just so fun, and there's just so many aspects of it. I don't know. I've always loved DJing. I fell in love with it from the get-go, you know?
What makes a great entertainer then? What can I do to become a great entertainer? Not being a DJ, maybe I don't want to start fights, but I do want to entertain.
You have to really be able to self-reflect and really be able to look at shit from other people's perspective. I think it's all about perspective. Being a good entertainer in any aspect, whether you're on a YouTube channel or you want to be a DJ or you want to be an MC or you want to host a game show or whatever, you have to be able to really, really genuinely look at other people's perspectives and see life through that. You know what I mean? Like, because that's how you got to look at these people aren't having a good time. Why? You know what I mean? And what can I do differently to help them have a good time? Or how can I convey a message so they would most easily absorb it? Not so like it sounds good to me coming out. You know what I mean? Like you have to look at everything from other people's perspective.
Can you translate it into online content as well?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because again, every piece of online content I post, I try and as much value as possible. I want it from the other person's perspective. Would I get value out of this? Like, is this entertaining? Is this educational? You're going to learn something? Is it inspirational in any way? Like, is there a value in this? Or am I just posting this to brag? Or am I just posting this because I think it's cool personally? Or is there actual value? Like, that's where, like, because I constantly try and think of things from other people's perspective. If you're a good perspective taker, you could think of things that you train yourself to look at the world that way. In life, I think it's better in every aspect of life. Like, name a situation, I'll tell you why. Like, you should always think from other people's perspective, and you will have most success online, content creation, all that. Because then you're going to make the content people want to see, and they're going to watch it over and over again, and that's where the plays come from. That's where the followers come from. That's where everything comes from. 100%. So.
All right. What's next for Nick Spinelli then? What are your goals?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm throwing darts, man. I haven't done my New Year's Eve. I haven't done my New Year's Day resolutions. Yeah, I haven't done that shit yet. I do it every year.
What was the last year's ones?
I don't remember. I probably didn't hit any of them. They're always huge. I don't have my iPad near me. I think it was like 100K subscribers on YouTube and something. I went viral finally. That was always one of them.
Tell me about that. What does it mean to go viral in your case? Because probably I would get a couple hundred likes and I would be viral in my book. So what does it mean to you?
Yeah, right. What does viral mean? I don't even know. Viral used to be in 1 million plays for me, and then now, it still does. I think I think 1 million plays for me. 1 million plays means I have a viral video. So I finally had a few of those.
What virality brings with it? Followers, money. What comes with getting one video viral or multiple in your case?
It's just a lot of eyes. When a video goes viral, you have a bunch of people watching it, and then the more people you have watching it, the more people that are going to go to your page and see if you have more of stuff like that. And that's literally what it comes down to. Going viral is luck. The algorithm, you got to catch the algorithm the right way. You get to know what's going to work, but you also have to have that little aspect of luck, especially the first time. And when it happens the first time, the biggest advice I give you is just you're just going to have more eyes on that video and more eyes going to your page. And why are they going to your page? They're going to your page to see if you have more content like that viral video. If you do not have more content like that viral video, you had a viral video and that's it. It's not going to translate to a lot of followers. That's going to translate to a lot of nothing. I know plenty of people that had a couple videos go get a couple million views. Nothing really came of it because it was just a niche they were doing. It was just a trend they were doing or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything. The way I had found success was I have a video go viral. It's me DJing at a wedding, just doing a mix. And I do that every weekend. So I'm like, okay, so I posted 150 of those of me just DJing, doing mixes at a wedding. So when I have a video go viral, people go to my page, they got 150 more of that same video to watch of all kinds of different ideas I had. And, maybe they like some, maybe they don't, but they go through and they can watch them all. And that's how everything snowballs and really grows. That's when you gain a follower. When you get somebody to watch multiple pieces of content and they like all the pieces of content they see, now they're going to follow because this is what you do. I want more of this. I'm going to follow. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I think it's the biggest portion of going viral.
It makes total sense.
That's why I don't do trends. I don't do all this, let me go do a dance now, because it's really only going to be for my followers. No one's really going to give a shit. And then God forbid I go viral. It's going to be like, well, where's all your rest of your dancing videos? I got one dance move and that's it. So this is it.
How do you think about it when you're creating this stuff? Do you think about it as in a funnel, sort of, I'm doing this in order for them to click here, in order for them to go there, in order for them to buy? Or or you find that just delivering value will do that automatically and you don't need to plan the funnel if you're delivering value continuously?
Yeah, when it comes to, as long as you have value consistently, I don't plan all that stuff, and whatever happens, let the internet gods take it and see what happens with it.
The internet gods, I would love to meet them.
That's it. However it works. Yeah, however it works. I don't know. Whoever is there 9 people in a room somewhere, Illuminati desk, and they're just they pick who gets to be famous or some shit. I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works. But basically when I do Reels and TikToks, I also look for obviously I want it to be value and entertaining. And I try and think of how many aspects of this could be entertaining. And that's a big thing I kind of discovered by accident with my videos, because you'll see me mix. That's one aspect, right? So I made a mix if you like what I did with my mix. But then you also see the crowd, all the different individuals in the crowd, how they're dancing, how they're reacting, what they're looking like, what they're doing. So you could pick out all these little aspects of my video and say, well, look at this guy, whether you think he's dancing stupid and it's haha, he's so stupid, or, look how white he is, whatever, right? Or whether it's someone you think is cool, or no matter what you think, there's all these little aspects of my video that you could point out. And that's what's helped me, so I try, when we capture it, I try and show me do the DJ thing, but then also show the crowd, catch their reaction and catch what the crowd's doing, because then people tend to watch it over and over again and pick out all these aspects. So my value in my TikToks and Reels are essentially all the different little stories that are going down, all the different little people that are dancing, beyond just me mixing. So that to me, that's all entertainment value. And if you have all these little aspects of entertainment value, people have to rewatch it to catch it. People comment, did you see the guy in the blue shirt? No, I didn't. Let me rewatch it. Oh my God, the dude all the way in the back of the blue shirt lost his mind. You know what I mean? You can point out all these little nuances.
Yeah.
That's what manifests into this.
Again, that's a potential of viral content. I mean, that's potential viral content. Ramble on, I beg you.
Ramble on. It's a good Led Zeppelin song.
Oh yeah. I know that you mentioned in one of your videos you were talking about, or maybe it was the same live actually, that you were talking about AI taking over. We see it these days mostly in text and in graphics. I'm actually surprised not to see it yet in music, and I'm interested in your take on it. Like, is it not only in the part of creating music, but specifically for DJs to sort of like, you know, curating music? Do you see anything like this appearing?
Yeah, it's coming. That's why you know, it's good for us DJs to always be practicing, always try and be the best we could be. We can't be stagnant because it's coming. So AI is they're using data against us, right? So like AI is now able to, like, Spotify has data on like everybody. Whoever has Spotify, we have your data and what you listen to. And like, if you listen to this song, you tend to listen to this song as well, and yada yada, and they're finding all those correlations. So the AI's ability to make playlists and stuff are kind of like going to be pretty cool. And then like beyond that, facial recognition and being able to recognize when people are really like having fun or not, or like a song or not, that tied into with, you know, it could get ugly down the road. Like they could have, you know, I've seen the Terminator. So, so, you know, all I could do is just be the best DJ I could be. And then any robot wants to challenge me, I'll battle him. I'll punch him right in the throat, and then that's it.
Be the John Connor of the DJ world. Absolutely.
That's it. I'll be the John Connor. I'll literally battle all those DJ. I'll punch them all in the throat. I don't give a shit. All right. If AI is listening, fuck you. Fuck you, AI.
All right, Nick. I think that's a perfect message to the world to finish on.
That's
fuck
right.
you, AI.
That's right. I meant that. I meant that with my whole heart.
Thanks so much for joining. I wish you your 100K this year.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna try.
That has to happen, and I totally think that you deserve it because your content, even though I'm not a DJ, I find it completely entertaining, and I love your stuff. So,
it means a lot, man. I appreciate that,
and thanks for sharing with us.
My pleasure, Philip. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Nick gave me a good podcast guarantee, and I don't know about you, but I feel like he delivered. If you feel the same, please let us know and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.